Painter. In this video, I'm going to give you a couple more tips and tricks how to get your ceiling cut-ins to be perfectly straight and like a professional did it. I got a playlist of about 5 videos that teach you how to get ceiling lines to look really straight like this, so you can go check out that playlist at the end of this video. But I got a couple more tips and tricks I'm going to teach you right now, so stay tuned for this video. So part of the process of getting good ceiling cut-ins is having the proper equipment. And I've had in a couple of my previous cut-in videos, I've showed you some of the products that I use, the brushes I use, the buckets and screens I use. So you can go back and check out those videos. I'm not going to go into depth about them right now, but right now I'm using a 3-inch angled sash Purdy clear cut brush, and it's a stiff bristle brush because I'm using a really thick paint right now. So I'm going to go begin doing these cut-ins, and a couple of things to doing really good cut-ins is holding your brush properly when you're actually doing those cut-ins. I'm going to go over a little bit about how to actually hold a brush when you're doing your cut-ins, and this is a method that I use. It actually works for me, that will give me really good straight lines. So I'm going to show you how I actually hold a brush. So I have my paintbrush right here, and when I get ready to go do my cut-ins, I actually hold my brush just like this. I actually secure the brush on one side with my thumb. Hopefully you can see that right there in this video. So I secure it with my thumb on the one side, and then my other 4 fingers hold the brush on this side, and that's what actually gives me the ability to hold this brush in my hand and stabilize it and control it really well. So it's a 4-fingered method. I'm holding it with 4 fingers on this side and my thumb on the opposite side, and then when I'm doing my cut-ins, I'm cutting in just like this. So I'm holding it. Sometimes I actually let my small finger free and hold it like that, but typically I'm going to have 4 fingers on that brush, and that also depends on the size of the brush you're using. If you're using a brush that's 2 inches or smaller, you're typically not going to have 4 fingers on that brush because the ferrule is really small. But this is a larger brush, so I can get my hands on that brush and control it really well. And one of the techniques of bringing your paint up to your cut-in when you're holding your brush, is I discussed in one of my other videos, is to actually rotate that brush. And as you see, this brush is actually fully loaded with paint right now, and I'm actually rotating it around so it actually doesn't drift. So I'm going to pull it out of my bucket, rotate it up, and get it to my position to do my cut-in. So I'm going to do a cut-in right now, just showing you how I actually hold that brush. And I'm holding it once again just like that. And the method, you're going to get your brush up there within about a 1/2 inch, and then bring it up to your cut-in, and then begin your cut-in. You're going to go about a little bit more than a foot, go back the opposite direction to fill in any of those spots that didn't get filled in when you went the one direction the first time. So there you go, how to properly hold the brush. Now I'm going to talk about how I actually hold the brush in my bucket when I'm actually doing my back rolling with my roller. So once I got my cut-in done with my brush up there, length, usually about twice as much as that, then I go back and back roll it with my roller. And when I'm back rolling it, I don't want my brush to be inside my bucket of paint, because then it's going to get paint all over the brush and it's going to get all messy and make a big mess. So I actually hold my brush with my bucket just like this. So I got the brush, got my bucket in one hand, and I'll show you right here. My brush is held with this finger and my thumb secured in the bucket just like that. So it's held with these 2 fingers right here. So I secure my bucket with my first 3 fingers right here in the handle, and then I put my brush inside there, and it hangs right in the middle. And I'll try to give you a little bit better view once I get up this ladder what that looks like. But now I can sit there and load up my roller and then do my back brushing or back rolling. So when I go to put my roller inside my bucket, all I do is just tilt my brush to the side, and then I can hang or actually load my roller up. And you always want to have a roller that has a roller frame that has some type of hooks that you can actually hook your roller on the inside of your bucket just like that, so your roller can hang while you're actually using your brush and doing your cut-ins with your brush. So once again, I'm going to load up my brush, Just dip it in my paint, pat it on the sides. Now I can actually bring it up using the method that I just showed you how to do the cut-ins. And I'll take my brush, get it about a 1/2 inch from the ceiling, work it up to my ceiling. I'm gonna cut one way, and then I'll cut the opposite way to fill it in. And then I'm gonna look at that and make sure that it's all completely filled in. If I miss a spot or anything, there's a little spot right here that I didn't cover. I can go back, cut that in. And then once I do about a 2-foot section, I'm just going to back roll it with my roller so it will blend in with my wall. And the whole back rolling process, why I actually back roll it, I explained in a previous video that I did doing ceiling cut-ins that you can check out at the end of this video. I'm gonna give you one more tip when it comes to doing ceiling cut-ins, and this is how I actually stand on a ladder when I'm doing my cut-ins. And when I'm doing my cut-ins, I'm typically using either a 6-foot ladder, a 3-foot ladder, but I always want to have the ladder, or typically always have the ladder, I'm gonna walk up it at an angle like this, and I like to actually do my cut-ins with the ladder right here so I can face the ladder and lean up against the ladder and have myself supported. It is a lot harder to do your cut-ins this way and not have the support of the ladder in case you tilt forward and fall forward. Sometimes in the videos, I gotta do it just for video purposes, stand the opposite direction, but it'll make you a lot more secure on the ladder to actually be facing the ladder and doing your cut-ins that way. So once again, I'm gonna load up my brush, pat it on the side, gonna bring my brush up to my cut-in. I'm gonna work about a foot section, go back, work the opposite direction. Then I'm gonna load up my brush, pat it on the side, bring it up to the ceiling, cut it one direction. I'm gonna cut it back the opposite direction. Gonna load it up one more time. Gonna bring it up to the ceiling, cut it. And there's these little spots I missed from the first cut, so I go back, cut the opposite direction. Now I'm gonna once again fill it in with my roller. Get that 4-inch roller as close as you can to the ceiling, about a 1/2 inch from the ceiling. And there you have it. This was Chris the Idaho Painter bringing you more tips and tricks on doing perfect ceiling cut-ins like a professional did it. At the end of this video, you could also check out in my video description all the tools and accessories I'm using in my videos is down in the video description. You can also find the playlist to actually watch more of my cut-in videos. I got a whole playlist of them to teach you how to cut in like a pro. And we'll see you on my next video.